What's up, basement dwellers? Uncle Danny here. Years ago, I went to my friendly neighborhood Funko-Land to try to find myself a Genesis game that I could afford on my allowance. While there, I found a game for Genesis that was only $5. Now, keep in mind, this is the early 90s. Most used Genesis games were anywhere from like $20 to $60, and I mean, they were expensive. So when I found this game for $5, I asked the guy behind the counter, like, wow, a Genesis game for only $5? That's a really good deal. He gave me a little bit of a smile and said, yeah, there's a reason why that game's only $5. Want to try it?
This is how most stores feel about letting you try their video games. This is how we feel. Funko-Land, more video games than anybody else at half the price.
God, I miss Funko-Land. So I played the game, and wow. Simply, wow. Sword of Sodan. This game opens up with a soundtrack that could only be heard on Genesis. Those of you that are old enough know exactly what I mean. You have two characters to choose between, the hero and the heroine. The hero is slow and clunky, but he can take a few more hits and has a higher base strength. The heroine is quicker, her strength isn't quite as good, but honestly, I always pick the heroine. She's much easier to play with. They give you these wordy openings before each stage, like you're about to dive into something as epic as Middle-earth. When the game begins, you quickly find out that it is anything but. Notice anything missing? Yeah, there is no music soundtrack to this game at all. May I ask why? Every hack and slash game like this is accompanied with a soundtrack, whether it's bad or good. All you have here is the grunts and groans of all the enemies being hit and dying. Oh, I take that back. You can hear the birds in the background. How tranquil. Honestly, this lack of music's kind of awkward, so I'm just gonna put some in for your own enjoyment. There we go, that is much better. So we've established that this game is unappealing to the ears, but let's talk about the gameplay. Yeah, it's just as bad. As you can see, the enemies flank you from both sides. Normally this wouldn't be too much of a problem, but in order to turn around, you need to hold C while pushing left or right. C is also the attack button, and you can't move while you're attacking, so you just have to mash and hope for the best. Why can't it just be left or right to face the direction you want to face? There's no reason for this. There's no reason why you'd want to stay faced a certain way. And of course, this is one of those games where you move faster than the screen. Look how slow it moves. And if you get too close to the edge, you risk taking damage from enemies you can't see yet. The hit detection is a mess. This game does whatever it wants. Sometimes I can stand in the spike traps and take no damage, and other times I get bounced around like a pinball. And let's talk about the reach that the spearmen have. You can't get anywhere near them without taking some damage. The best strategy I found is to remain crouched and wait for them to get near you and stab them in the dick as they get close. And even that doesn't always work. Look at that! What am I supposed to do? So after you circumcise the entire army outside, you find yourself in the actual town where, you guessed it, you fight more waves of forces. The axemen, just like the spearmen, will always hit you from time to time. As far as I can tell, there's no way to avoid at least some damage. Eventually, you get to what looks like the medieval versions of the Sentinels from X-Men. And honestly, this is as far as I can get in this game. I can't figure out what to do to get past them. I do some damage to them and they drop to a knee, but when I try to do some sort of finishing move, nothing happens and they regain their health. I have tried every attack style available to me, and nothing. I've even tried all the potions on them. Oh yes, the potions. I forgot to mention how much of a mess this is. Alright, you pick up these potions along the way. To use them, you hit start to pause the game, highlight the potion you want to use, hit A, unpause the game, and hit A again to consume the potion. What kind of convoluted system is that? Why not just hit A? And if that isn't bad enough, you actually drink the potion while the enemies are still hitting you. So you're vulnerable for a couple of seconds while you're using the potions. The red potions increase your strength. You see that hit number next to the score? That's how strong my hit strength is. You want to keep that above 50 to do any real damage. And of course, after you die, it resets to the minimum. The yellow potion seems to be like the cross in Castlevania, where it kills everything on the screen. It's pretty useful, actually. The blue potion increases stamina. I honestly don't really notice the difference when I drink the blue one. And the empty ones, they do nothing. I'm actually not sure what their purpose is. I assume they serve some sort of function, but I haven't cared enough to figure it out. This game is a mess. It's slow, it's clunky, it's boring, it's unappealing to every sense, and it is completely unimaginative. There were plenty of great hack-and-slash fantasy-style games on the Genesis. The Golden Axe series is probably the one that is most well known. That was a series that has all of the elements of the Sword of Sodan, but gets them right. If you're looking to play a 16-bit fantasy hack-and-slash, play the Golden Axe series. It's available on multiple platforms, not just the Genesis. It's been ported to many recent systems as well. That is the series I would recommend if you want some good 16-bit fantasy hack-and-slash. If you're looking for some serious punishment, or just looking to troll your friends, pop in Sword of Sodan.